Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, class 7. Today we will start our new unit, polytheism. Its mean shirk. So the first lesson is the benefit and harm comes from none but Allah. So this lesson will give us the lesson of Tawheed, as we know that Allah Almighty is our creator. He is alone. He can do each and everything, and no one else can be the partner of Allah in His attributes, in His parts. So this lesson will explain all that things. So first, the lesson is telling us about what is shirk. And just see the lesson. Shirk, polytheism, is now so widespread among the people that Tawheed, monotheism, has become scarce. It's mean that nowadays the people have become so weak in their iman, in their belief, that the shirk has become very much common. Most of the Muslims who claim to be bearer of faith do not really understand the meaning of Tawheed and Shirk. And the basic reason is that we even don't know what is Tawheed and what is Shirk. We don't know the difference between Tawheed and between Shirk. We have not any type of knowledge. Actually, the Islamic education, the basic education that is must for every Muslim, we are much away from such type of education nowadays. Our concentration is just belonging towards the worldly education. So that's why, because of not getting the education, our iman is weak. And as we know that only the persons who have much knowledgeable, who get much knowledge, they afraid Allah, they know much about Allah. So the people who say that we are Muslim, even they don't know the difference between Tawheed and Shirk. So unconsciously or consciously they involve in Shirk. So we can say that outwardly they are Muslims, but unconsciously they are involved in the practice of Shirk. How they are involved in Shirk, we can see here in this lesson. Therefore, it is duty for each Muslim to understand the meaning of Tawheed and Shirk. So it's mean that we should get the knowledge, we should know that what is Tawheed and what is Shirk, so we can avoid Shirk and we can save ourselves from hellfire. And to know the consequences of both as stated by Quran and Sunnah. So from where to get the knowledge that what is Tawheed and what is Shirk, we have to consult to Quran and Sunnah. Quran will tell us what is the difference between Tawheed and Shirk, and Sunnah will tell us that how to be a good Muslim, how to be a proper believer, how to be a good believer. Shirk is generally translated as polytheism, but the term actually means partnership or association. What's that meaning, partnership or association? To make someone partner with Allah Almighty in His parts. It's mean attributing divine qualities to something or someone beside Allah, or considering something or someone as equal to be loved, obeyed, or worshipped as one should love, obey, and worship Allah. What's that meaning, attributing divine qualities to something or someone beside Allah? We know that Allah knows everything, Allah can do everything, Allah can do anything by kalima kun. And suppose we talk about the quality attribute of Allah Almighty, that He is Alim. What's the meaning of Alim? He is knowing each and everything. Even if the leaf of a tree falls, Allah knows it. Allah knows each and everything of this whole universe. Can a person get such a knowledge? Can a person tell us that what will go tomorrow or what will go after tomorrow? No, nothing can be predicted. No person can predict such things. No person can know each and everything about this world. Even we don't know about ourselves that what we will do tomorrow. So how can we say about a person that he is Alim? Allah's knowledge is from the first day and towards the last. Allah Almighty is called Lafani. He is from beginning towards the end. He is eternal. His all attributes are also eternal. So we cannot say that this quality also belongs to a person, and when we say this one, it's mean we are doing shirk at the moment. And the person who, to whom we can worship, to whom we should love, only who is our creator, who can do each and everything. Our all worships, our all loves should belong to that part, to Allah Almighty. And when we do that worship, and when we give such love to someone else except Allah, it's mean that we are involving in shirk. There are some practices that lead to shirk, such as wearing a ring, string, charm, or anything similar, believing that it will protect from harm. So we can see that some people always in habit of wearing some bracelets or some rings or some type of string in their necks. They believe that these are given to us by some scholar or by some high personality, and such things can save us from any type of harm. So this type of beliefs are also including in shirk, and when we are involving in such activities, we are also involving in shirk, because wearing all these things, we are going to trust on these things. We lose our trust towards Allah Almighty. Then we don't ask Allah for our things, and we don't pray to Allah. We just think about these things, that these things will save us from the danger, from the problem. So our attention removes from Allah Almighty and turn towards such worldly things. So in this way we involve in shirk. So believing that will remove affliction or prevent it, people become dependent on such things instead of Allah. So when the people start to do such activities, they start to depend on these things except Allah. The Arabs used to believe concerning rings, strings, and similar things that whoever hung on one of these would be benefited by it. It was actually the custom of the Arabs before Islam. It was called the time period of ignorance, when the people did not know about Allah Almighty. They have such beliefs that such things, just like rings or strings, they hang such things in their houses or on their vehicles or on their body, and believe that these things will save them from any type of harm. But Allah Almighty said in Quran that قُلْ أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِنْ أَرَادَنِي اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ هل هن كاشفات ضره أو أرادني برحمة هل هن ممسكات رحمته. So what's the meaning of that ayah Mubaraka? Look on the second page. Its meaning that, say, then have you considered what you invoke beside Allah? If Allah intends me harm, are they removers of his harm? Or if he intends me mercy, are they withholders of his mercy? So what's that meaning? Whatever is going to happen to us, it's all depend on Allah's will. If Allah decides something good for us, how can somebody stop this good happening to us? And if Allah has decided something bad for us, so how can somebody change this bad effect from us to the good one? Nobody has any type of power to change the destiny, to change the good to bad or bad to good. It's all is upon Allah's will. The following hadith is relevant in this connection. What is the hadith? And Imran ibn Hussein قال أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رأى رجلا في حلقة من صفر فقال ويحك ما هذا؟ قال من الواهنات. قال انزعها فإنها لا تزيدك إلا وهنا فإنك لو مت وهي عليك أفلحت أبدا ما أفلحت أبدا. What's that meaning? Imran bin Hussein reported that the Prophet ﷺ found a man with a bracelet on his arm and asked him, what is this? The man replied, it protects me from wahina, weakness or illness of the body. The Prophet ﷺ said, remove it, as it will do nothing but increase your weakness. If you die while it is on you, you will never be successful. So a person who is involving in such activities, if he dies on this type of belief, he will not be successful in his life after here. And what is the unsuccessfulness or the failure in the afterlife? It is that he will go to hell. So try to avoid such type of the activities. There is one other hadith, and Abdullah bin Masud qala sami'tu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam yaqul inna ruqa wat tamaim wat tawalata shirkun. Abdullah bin Masud reported, I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, indeed spell, talisman and charms are shirk. So what are these three things? Spell is the recitation of something which is then blown onto someone's body or face, and talisman is an amulet or ring worn to protect from evil. A charm is not or the magic formula believed to increase the love between a husband and wife. So all these things are relating to charm on the other people from someone else, to just to thinking that it will bring a harm to someone else, or it will protect someone from any bad thing to be happen. So when we are involving in such activities, when we are wearing some type of bracelet or thread or string, so people believe that they have the power, they will protect us from such type of the evil or such type of the danger, and if we are not wearing, we are in danger. So in this way, what happened, we lose our trust, we lose our belief in Allah Almighty, and eventually we also lose our love to Allah Almighty, and we don't like to worship Allah Almighty, because we think that Allah is not doing something to us, but these things are doing, nauzubillah, and these things are doing to us something good or bad. So we don't worship to Allah, we don't love Allah, and if we try to worship, there are not sincerity in our such type of the worships, and such type of the worships are not acceptable by Allah Almighty also. And what will be the result? We will be loser at the last day. So we should be quite conscious about such type of the activities, such type of the things. We should not use all that type of the things. We should have a strong belief in Allah Almighty that everything that is good or bad, it is happening from Allah Almighty. So there is an ayah, وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ, and most of them believe not in Allah except while they are mushrikun. So what are the mushrikun? These are the same people who are loving, who are giving respect to the other things rather than Allah Almighty. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal mentioned a hadith reported by Aqba bin Amir that he heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that man ta'allaka tamimatan fala ismallahu fala atamallahu lahu wa man ta'allaka bada'atan fala bada'allahu lahu. What's that meaning? Whoever hangs an amulet on himself or others, may Allah not fulfill anything for him, and whoever hangs a seashell for protection, may Allah not grant him rest. So what's that meaning? That this is actually the words of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is saying against those people who are taking shelter in such type of the activities, who are using such type of the things, thinking that these things will protect them from any evil things or any harm or any danger. So after the words of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is no doubt that if we are involving in such type of the activities, we will be losers. So all of us should keep in our mind that we should have a deep and strong belief in Allah Almighty. He is our creator, He is doer of each and everything. When He wants, everything can happen, and if He does not desire, nothing can be happened. Even if all the people, all the jinnat and all everything of the universe just collect to do that thing, nobody can do this thing. So what is our duty in that respect? That then we should pray for Allah, towards Allah, for our each and every desire. Sahaba Karam were in the habit of asking their minor desires. They just ask to Allah Almighty to grant them, and Allah have the sure belief that you should be sure about it, that Allah will grant you that thing. But the need is that you should be sincere in your prayers. If you are asking Allah Almighty sincerely, Allah will not return you hopeless. So we should have a strong belief and in Allah Almighty, and as a result we should just pray to Allah. We should just ask Allah for each and everything, and if we have any type of fear, any type of danger, so there are many du'as taught to us by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this respect. We should take shelter in such type of du'as, in such type of the activities, and Allah surely will protect us, and Allah surely will grant us each and everything that we need and we desire. So may Allah protect us from each and every type of shirk that we know and even that we don't know. If we are unconsciously involved in any type of activity of shirk, may Allah Almighty protect us from such type of the sins also, so we can be successful in our on the last day in our life hereafter.